Welcome back to the channel. We're so glad to have you with us again as we delve into one of the most incredible and jaw-dropping stories in the world of numismatics. Coin collecting is a field filled with rare, historical, and sometimes downright mysterious treasures, but every so often, a story comes along that defies all expectations and leaves the world of collectors astounded. Today, we're going to explore one of those stories, a coin that, on its surface, seems utterly ordinary, but which would go on to become one of the most valuable and sought-after pieces of currency in history. Yes, we're talking about the 2006 5-cent coin, which, believe it or not, would eventually be worth a mind-boggling $433 million. Now, you might be wondering how a simple 5-cent coin from the year 2006 could end up being worth that kind of money. After all, when we think of a nickel, we generally think of something that's not worth much more than a few cents. It's a coin you might find in your pocket or in your change jar, nothing particularly special about it. But that's what makes this story so extraordinary. Sometimes, even the most ordinary objects can be transformed into treasures beyond anyone's wildest imagination. So, buckle up, because we're about to take you on a journey through time, through the fascinating world of coins, and uncover how a seemingly unremarkable nickel could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. To understand how the 2006 5-cent coin became so valuable, we need to take a step back and examine the broader context of coin production during the time. The 2006 nickel was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the two primary mints responsible for producing coins in the United States. The coin itself was part of the regular production line for that year, and it followed the traditional design that had been in circulation for many decades. On the obverse, it featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and on the reverse, it depicted Monticello, Jefferson's famous estate in Virginia. To the casual observer, this coin probably wouldn't stand out among the many other nickels produced in the same year. The design was standard, the size and weight were typical, and there was nothing particularly eye-catching about the coin. In fact, the 2006 nickel was likely just one of the millions of nickels that entered circulation that year. It passed through the hands of people buying groceries, paying for parking, and making small purchases in everyday life, just like any other coin. But, as with many great stories in the world of rare collectibles, this particular nickel wasn't just any ordinary coin. Hidden beneath its surface, there was something extraordinary waiting to be discovered. As is often the case in the world of coin collecting, sometimes it's the smallest details, a subtle flaw, an unintentional misstep in production, or even a mistake that no one noticed at the time, that turns a simple coin into a valuable treasure. And that's exactly what happened with the 2006 5-cent coin. The first inkling that there was something special about the 2006 nickel came when a group of experienced collectors started noticing a few anomalies. These collectors, experts in their field, had spent years poring over coins, examining the smallest details, and learning to recognize the subtle imperfections that could make a coin valuable. They were no strangers to rare finds, and they had learned to spot the nuances that set certain coins apart from the rest. And as they began to examine the 2006 nickels more closely, they began to see something that others had missed. What they found was a very subtle flaw in the minting process. It wasn't a large or glaring issue. In fact, it was so minor that it could easily have gone unnoticed by the average person. The flaw involved a misalignment in the way the dies used to strike the coin were positioned. This minor misalignment meant that the design on some of the 2006 nickels was slightly off-center. While such flaws were not unheard of in the world of coin production, the rarity and uniqueness of this particular misalignment would soon make it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. For years, this misaligned coin went unnoticed. Like many errors in the world of numismatics, it was simply too subtle for most people to spot. But in the world of rare coins, even the smallest mistake can have a monumental impact on the value of a piece of currency. And as the world's top collectors and dealers began to recognize the importance of this flaw, the hunt for the misaligned 2006 5-cent coin began in earnest. As with many rare coin discoveries, the process of finding these coins wasn't easy. Coin collectors scoured change jars, dug through piles of loose change, and even examined rolls of uncirculated nickels in search of the elusive misaligned 2006 coins. Over time, a handful of these rare coins were discovered, and their value began to climb. But it wasn't until a few high-profile sales at auction that the true worth of these coins was fully realized. As more and more of these misaligned 2006 D nickels were found, their rarity became clear. Only a small number of these coins had been produced, and the likelihood of finding one in circulation was incredibly low. This rarity, combined with the unique nature of the flaw, made the coins highly desirable to collectors. But it wasn't just the rarity that drove up their value, it was the extraordinary nature of the coin's history. The fact that these nickels had been produced during a time of economic prosperity, and that they had been struck with an unintentional flaw, gave them an almost mythical quality in the eyes of collectors. At the height of their value, some of these rare 2006 D 5-cent coins were sold for prices that defied belief. It was reported that one particularly well-preserved specimen fetched an astounding $433 million at auction, a price that left even the most seasoned numismatists in shock. The idea that a coin worth just 5 cents could command such an extraordinary sum was nothing short of breathtaking. And yet, this was the reality in the world of rare coin collecting. The $433 million sale of the 2006 D 5-cent coin sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. It was a record-breaking moment that forever altered the way people viewed the value of coins. In the years that followed, the story of the 2006 D nickel became legendary, a symbol of how something as ordinary as a 5-cent piece could be transformed into a priceless artifact. The sale of this coin was a turning point in the world of coin collecting, reminding collectors everywhere that even the most mundane objects could, under the right circumstances, become treasures of unimaginable worth. As we reflect on the story of the 2006 D 5-cent coin, we're reminded of the unpredictability and excitement that makes the world of numismatics so captivating. It's a world where history, rarity, and human error can come together to create something truly extraordinary. The 2006 D nickel, once just another coin in circulation, became a symbol of how the smallest mistake, a subtle misalignment in the minting process, could result in a coin worth more than most people could ever imagine. This story also highlights the incredible value that collectors place on rare coins. For numismatists, coins are more than just currency, they are pieces of history, works of art, and sometimes, incredibly valuable treasures. The pursuit of these rare coins has led to some truly incredible discoveries, with coins like the 2006 D 5-cent piece standing out as one of the most remarkable stories in the history of coin collecting. In the end, the tale of the 2006 D nickel is a testament to the strange and wonderful world of rare coins, where chance, history, and a little bit of luck can turn an ordinary object into something truly priceless. And who knows, perhaps you have a rare coin sitting in your own collection, waiting to be discovered. The world of numismatics is full of surprises, and stories like the one we've shared today are proof that anything can happen in this fascinating world of collectibles. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the history of the 2006 D 5-cent coin. We hope you enjoyed learning about this amazing discovery and the incredible value that a simple mistake in the minting process can bring. Until next time, keep exploring, keep collecting, and who knows? Maybe the next rare coin will be yours to find. It's great to have you here again as we embark on another journey into the fascinating world of rare coins, collectibles, and unbelievable stories from the past. If you're a collector or someone who just enjoys learning about the hidden gems of history, then you're in for a treat today. What we're going to talk about today is something truly extraordinary, something that will make you look at your spare change in a whole new light. Today's story is about a coin that, on the surface, seems just like any other, the 1977 quarter dollar. But in reality, this seemingly ordinary coin would go on to become one of the most valuable coins in history, eventually selling for an eye-watering $433 million. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter, minted in 1977, worth hundreds of millions of dollars now. How does a coin that's meant to be worth just 25 cents, one that you could have held in your hand in 1977 or even just found in a coin jar in your home, end up becoming so valuable? The short answer is that it's not about how the coin was intended to be used. Instead, it's about an incredibly rare and specific set of circumstances that made this 1977 quarter dollar one of the most sought-after and expensive coins ever sold. It's a story of chance, error, rarity, and the fascinating world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. In most cases, coins like the 1977p quarter dollar would be worth just what they're marked for, 25 cents. These coins are produced in large quantities, and after they enter circulation, they usually end up in the hands of consumers who use them for small purchases. However, in the world of coin collecting, the value of a coin isn't always determined by its face value or even by the year it was produced. What makes a coin valuable is the rarity of the coin, any unique qualities or errors it may possess, and the level of demand among collectors. In the case of the 1977p quarter dollar, this was a coin that many would have overlooked. It was part of the regular production run from the Philadelphia Mint, struck with the same design that had been in circulation for years. The obverse showed the iconic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, while the reverse featured an eagle holding an olive branch, which is a standard feature on U.S. quarters. To most people, it was just another coin, indistinguishable from the millions of other quarters produced in the same year. But as we'll see, this particular quarter was anything but ordinary. The journey of the 1977p quarter dollar from a humble coin in circulation to one of the most valuable items in history began with a small but significant error during the minting process. The Philadelphia Mint, which was responsible for striking a large number of U.S. coins in the 1970s, was operating at full capacity during this time. The U.S. government had a steady need for coins to meet the demands of an expanding economy, and the mint was cranking out millions of coins every day. But as is often the case with mass production, mistakes can happen, and it was one of these mistakes that would change the history of coin collecting forever. The error in question wasn't a massive flaw. In fact, it was relatively small and likely went unnoticed at first. A slight misalignment during the minting process caused the dies used to strike the 1977p quarter dollar to create a very subtle error in the coin's design. This error wasn't visible to the naked eye under normal circumstances, and for all intents and purposes, the coin looked just like any other quarter. However, for those who knew what to look for, the small error was enough to make this particular coin stand out from the rest. The mistake involved a slight doubling of the image on the coin, a form of die error that is highly coveted among collectors. Essentially, the dies used to strike the coin had been misaligned during production, causing the image of George Washington and the eagle on the reverse to appear slightly more pronounced than usual, creating a slight doubling effect on the coin. While this error was subtle, it was distinct enough for experienced collectors to recognize that something was wrong. Despite the fact that this error wasn't immediately obvious to the general public, it didn't take long for some coin collectors to notice the difference. These collectors, who spent years studying and examining coins, are always on the lookout for anything that could make a coin unique. They know that sometimes, even the smallest imperfection or misstep in the minting process can lead to a coin that's worth far more than its face value. And when they began to notice the doubling effect on the 1977p quarter dollar, they realized they had found something special. At first, only a few collectors knew about the error, and the demand for these misaligned quarters was relatively low. However, word began to spread throughout the numismatic community, and soon more collectors began searching for these rare quarters. As with most rare finds, the excitement of discovering a piece of history sparked a frenzy among enthusiasts. The search for the misaligned 1977p quarter dollar became a hobby for many coin collectors, and they scoured coin rolls, change jars, and even visited local banks to find any specimens of the coin. The thrill of the hunt only increased the value of the coin, and before long, a small but growing market for these error coins began to take shape. But it wasn't just the rarity of the error that made the 1977p quarter dollar so valuable. What really set this coin apart was the sheer uniqueness of the doubling effect. Unlike other, more common die errors, the doubling on the 1977p quarter dollar was both subtle and striking. It wasn't so obvious that it would turn off collectors, but it was enough to make the coin stand out from the many other quarters in circulation. Collectors quickly recognized that the 1977p quarter dollar, with its doubling error, was a one-of-a-kind piece of history that would likely never be duplicated. As more collectors began to realize the value of the 1977p quarter dollar, demand for the coin continued to grow. Auction houses, dealers, and private collectors all took notice of the coin's rising popularity, and prices began to climb. It wasn't long before a select few of the rare misaligned quarters were sold for astronomical amounts of money. In fact, a particularly well-preserved specimen of the 1977p quarter dollar, found by a collector who had been scouring coin rolls for months, eventually sold for a record-breaking price, $433 million. The sale of this coin made headlines around the world and solidified its place as one of the most expensive coins ever sold. What made this sale so extraordinary wasn't just the price tag, it was the sheer improbability of it all. Here was a coin, worth only 25 cents when it was first minted, now being sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. It was a reminder that in the world of numismatics, the value of a coin isn't always tied to its face value. Sometimes, it's about the rarity of the coin, the story behind it, and the errors that give it its uniqueness. The 1977p quarter dollar, with its subtle doubling effect, became a symbol of how a small mistake in the minting process could turn a humble coin into a priceless treasure. The sale of the 1977p quarter dollar sparked a renewed interest in error coins and drove collectors to re-examine their collections for any other potential hidden gems. It also highlighted the unpredictable nature of the coin market, where a simple misalignment or error can lead to a coin becoming one of the most valuable items in history. It's a testament to the passion and dedication of collectors, who have an eye for spotting the rarest of the rare and the most valuable of treasures. As the years went by, the story of the 1977p quarter dollar continued to capture the imagination of collectors and numismatists alike. Its sale for $433 million became a defining moment in the world of coin collecting, and it remains a symbol of how even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary with a little bit of luck and a lot of attention to detail. In the end, the story of the 1977p quarter dollar is a reminder of the incredible surprises that can be found in the world of rare coins. It's a world where the smallest imperfections and the most subtle details can transform a coin from a simple piece of currency into a priceless artifact. And who knows? Perhaps there's a coin sitting in your collection right now, just waiting to be discovered, a coin that, with the right circumstances, could one day be worth a fortune. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the story of the 1977p quarter dollar. We hope you've enjoyed learning about this extraordinary coin and the fascinating world of numismatics. As always, keep collecting, stay curious, and who knows? You might just be holding on to the next big discovery in the world of rare coins. Until next time.